Warning: the content you are about to see is my opinion on certain topics. I do not want to offend anyone in any way. If you feel offended or do not like what I say, you should turn off the video. I will have no filter, so I'm warning you now. Viewer discretion is advised. I hope you enjoy.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Big Rob, aka Rob the Poet, and we're back with another episode of Open Your Mind Podcast. This is the show where I talk about topics from my point of view. And remember, you may not like what I have to say, but just listen with an open mind before you make your judgment. Now, I got a couple things that I want to talk about today, but first off, I put my podcast on Anchor, Spotify, all these other different streaming platforms, and within the 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's almost about to be a month, I've hit 100 plays. So please remember to keep listening. I appreciate everybody who's been listening. I'm trying my best to be consistent and make this as interesting as possible. I'm still new at this, so please bear with me, but please continue to listen. I will put everything on the screen so you can show I'm at 100 plays right now. Every time you listen to the podcast, I get some money. So listen as much as possible, but make sure that you're understanding the information. The information is the most important part, more than the money. So, like I said, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, I have all these different stuff, and it will be playing on YouTube. So remember, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or any other podcasting, please listen, download, leave a review, do whatever you can. I'm trying to grow this as much as possible. So please bear with me. This will only get better and more stuff to come. So with that being said, let's get into the topics for today. First, I want to talk about the word sorry. I know sorry is supposed to be like an apology. You know, you're really only supposed to say sorry when you done something really wrong and you really mean it. But to be honest, I don't feel that way. I feel like people use sorry in any term. They can say sorry, they sneeze, say sorry, ooh, I'm sorry, bump into you, sorry. I understand you trying to be polite and stuff like that, but a sorry is supposed to be a genuine apology. And I don't think that most people who say sorry don't mean it. So now let's go to the real root of the problem. When people kill somebody, or when people rob somebody, kidnap, do some type of malicious act towards somebody, and then they have their day in court, you see them crying and different stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. You know what you were thinking. You did this on purpose for a reason, but you want to say sorry to make it seem like to make the punishment less crucial. I don't believe it. I don't like the word sorry. I try not to use sorry in my own, because most of the things that I do, I knowingly do it, and just because it may not always be the right decision doesn't mean that I didn't mean to do it. I have to, say stuff from where I'm coming from. I don't want to keep saying sorry because that means I didn't mean it. Most of the time I did mean it. So sorry in my book does not mean anything to me. So for the people who actually use sorry as like a true apology, as a true like, oh, I did not mean to do it, I understand, but there are some people who just say sorry as if it's just another day, another word in the book. I was doing some research. They say people say sorry at least 20 to 30 times a day, and it shows like the word sorry is starting to diminish and it's starting to lose its power. And me personally, when people tell me sorry, I was like, okay, whatever. It's just another thing. So please remember, when you saying sorry, really mean what you say, because really mean sorry, because if you're just saying it just to get on my good side or get on anybody's good gracious or good side, you're using the word the opposite of what it was intended to be. You're just saying it just so we can feel sorry for you. And I'm the type of person who don't feel sorry for people because nobody's ever felt sorry for me. So it is what it is. But that's just a little short little thing. You know, that's one of my pet peeves. I don't know why, but I hate the word sorry because most of the time people don't mean it. And I think that's the reason why I hate it, because the intent of the word that people use it as. They use it when they make a mistake, and I understand most people go off of their first instinct. So when they do something, sometimes they don't mean to do it, but you did do it, you chose to do it, and you have to wear that hat. So don't say sorry, don't go back on, it's like going back on your word. Speaking of mistakes, let's talk about mistakes real quick. A lot of people feel that mistakes should not be part of anybody's character. And growing up, I thought that was the case, but now as a 28-year-old man, I'm going to say that is false. I believe people need to make mistakes. Now, I know when you're listening to this, you're like, need to make mistakes? What? Are you kidding me? No. There's different time periods that people need to make mistakes. When you're younger and you're growing up, you definitely need to make mistakes, because mistakes tell you, okay, so when you're doing something, you do it wrong. Oh, that's a mistake because you did it the wrong way. You got to learn. You will never learn if you never make that mistakes. There's some things that I've done that I made mistakes that I'm glad I made. At the time, I wasn't glad I made them, but now I'm glad I made them, because it lets me know to do it a different way if I come in that same situation. So I always bring it back to the ladies, but you know, I've had a young lady I was talking to, made a mistake in the way I approached her, in the way, you know, I tried to get her attention. It did not work. It backfired. So now when I'm in a situation of trying to get a female's attention, I go about it a different way. Just like when you're doing it can work in any situation. Say you're doing homework. It's just like when you have a problem. You think you know how to do a problem, you get the problem wrong. Hey, the teacher showed you how to do it. You never make that mistake again. You might have missed one step or something like that. I think mistakes are needed. Now, as you get older, you need to limit the amount of mistakes that you make, because as you get older, you should be learning as you're making these mistakes. If you're not learning while you're making mistakes, then you're just doing whatever you want. And those are not mistakes. You're just doing whatever you want because you know what you're doing. You're just using it as an excuse of mistakes. As I got older, I made less mistakes. When I was younger, I've done some things that I'm not proud of. I've done things that I wish I could take back. I've done things that I'm embarrassed by. But to this day, I'm glad that I made those mistakes, because it made me the person I am today. Mistakes build character. And I know a lot of people were just looking, like, probably listening to this and thinking like, mistakes build character. Yes, they do, because mistakes help shape the person that you are as you get older. Now, if you 35 and up, still making the same mistake that you made when you were 18, then you have not learned, and whoever is with that person or whoever you make a mistake with, they just need to go ahead and let you go. So as far as relationships, ladies and gentlemen, if your partner is making the same mistakes that they've been making for 10 years, it might be time to let that person go, because they're never going to learn. Mistakes are meant for you to learn. They're never going to learn, and they're just going to keep doing the same thing because you allow them to do that. So you need to just cut them off, because once you cut them off, they're going to be like, oh, well, this mistake actually ruined this, so let me not do this again. If they keep making the same mistakes and you keep taking them back, they're going to keep making the same mistakes. Now, I hope I don't make this. Now, I made a lot of mistakes when I was 18. I made even less mistakes when I was 24. I made even less mistakes when I'm 28. I'm hoping by the time I'm in a committed relationship, or not even a relationship, let's not make it about relationships. Mistakes in every aspect of your life is good, so that way you learn not to do that again. By the time I'm 35, I hope to be making as minimal mistakes as possible. By the time I'm 40, I should not be making no mistakes at all, because I have lived 40 years of life. I've been in millions of situations. I should know how to get myself out of a situation without making a mistake. I should be able to make the correct answer or go the correct way. So it is what it is. I don't know why the mistakes. This topic was just on my mind a lot, that I feel like I need to talk about, because I've made, like I said before, I've made so many mistakes, and I've known family members that make mistakes. I know friends that make mistakes. I've seen strangers make mistakes right in front of me, and I bet you that 9 times out of 10, those people will not make that same mistake again. Now, I'm not saying that I have not made the same mistake more than once, because I have, but there are certain mistakes that I don't make anymore. And that's because those mistakes cost so much, as far as like a piece of me, that I cannot make the mistakes again. Now there's small mistakes where, if I can still, I make the mistake because I can get away with it. I've still been getting away with those, which is bad. But, they should not, I should not be in this mind state of doing that. But it is what it is. We are human at the end of the day, and humans are going to make mistakes. But I want to tell people, get away from the stigma that people should not make no mistakes. Because if they don't make mistakes, then they don't know what they're doing is wrong. And then the thing that they're doing wrong, they will not fix. I'm trying to open people's mind, because mistakes shape-shifts you into the greatest human being ever. So it is what it is. But this is just a quick little topic I want to talk about. I'll have some stuff lined up as far as like guests on the show that's coming up that I want to talk about. So I'll throw some other little miniature topics in there. Health is important. A lot of people that know me since middle school, high school, elementary, I've always been a big kid my whole life. And, I at some points in life where I didn't take health as serious. There was a point where I didn't see a doctor probably for like 8 years. I think last time I saw a doctor was when I was 18 years old. And then the next time I saw a doctor, I think I was 26, 27, as far as like as a checkup. People remember, your health is important. As you get older, you need to start checking on yourself. There was a point in time where I was so stressed that my body was starting to shut down, and I felt sick. I felt tired. And then when I finally went to the doctor, and they said, "Oh, your iron's low. Your body is feeling stressed. You need to relax and stuff like that. So you need to get checked out." Physical health, not just internal, but outer health as well. Like I said, I've always been a big kid my whole life. And there was a point in time where I got so big that I felt like I couldn't do nothing. I mean, I wasn't like 500, 600 pounds and nothing like that, but I was the biggest I've ever been in my life. And going upstairs was hard. Walking was hard. Breathing was hard. I started feeling pain that I never felt before in my ankles, my knees, and different stuff like that. So I got to a point to where I told myself that I needed to work out. So, and not just work out, I needed to eat better, because losing weight and getting healthy, eating is probably 80% of the problem. I used to be at a job where I'd work from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, didn't come home, didn't feel like coming home and cooking, eat fast food for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, different stuff like that. I used to be a heavy smoker, not cigarettes or anything like that, marijuana, and those late night munchies really put some weight on when I was in college. So, there's a lot of stuff you got to start doing and to make sure you're eating better. So for a good year, I stopped eating fast food. I lost 100 pounds. I think I went from 340 and I got to my lowest at 226. I'm about 245 right now, but I've put on some muscle and different stuff like that. When I got to 226, I literally was just not eating. So I was doing it the wrong way. But I'm doing it the right way. I'm eating more vegetables, eating more fruits. I don't eat red meat. I might eat chicken and turkey here and there. But for the most part, I'm trying to become a vegetarian. So I eat, a lot more vegetables, salads. Most of my meals are vegetable are vegetarian meals. So please take care of yourself. Not just weight wise, but this month is breast cancer awareness. I always have my pink ribbon. I've had family members die from breast cancer. I've had family members survive from breast cancer. So please take care of yourself. You can see what happened with Chadwick Boseman a month or so ago. He had colon cancer. Now, it's not that he just found out he had colon cancer. He's always been dealing with it. But he wasn't an old person. He was early 40s, if that, late 30s. I can't remember how old he was, but like that just shows you like you don't have to be old to have health issues. I've had friends that grew up with health issues and stuff like that. I had a friend who went to high school with me. He died of cancer. I think he was 23, 24. I can't remember how old he was, but he was young. And like I've had numerous friends die. And so I'm at a point in my life where I think health needs to be a good topic because you want to live as long as possible with as minimal health issues as possible. Eat right, take care of yourself, visit the doctor, and you will live a long and happy life. But those are just kind of some quick topics I want to talk about. Again, please continue to listen to my podcast. I've heard some good feedback. I heard some good things. I heard some bad things. I'm going to try to switch it up just so y'all can be more entertained. Like I said, this is new to me. It's hard kind of talking in front of a camera, especially by myself. When I have guests on, I can talk for hours because we kind of bounce ideas off of each other. But when I'm by myself, these are going to be shorter episodes, and the content, is going to be just stuff that I want to talk about. Normally I have guests on, they bring the topic to the table. But like I said, keep listening. This Open Your Mind podcast. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're all going to be popping up, so that way, just go to those apps and sites, search for me, and then I will be there. So this is Big Rob, aka Rob the Poet. Open Your Mind podcast. Remember, you may not like what I have to say, but just listen with an open mind before you make your judgment. Peace.